their new IMF program targets. So we're into a new IMF program, a 2-year facility, 24 months, are called the Precautionary and Liquidity Line and the Resilience and Sustainability Facility. 2 separate programs. On March 1st, 2023, the IMF approved a 24-month program. Under the Precautionary Liquidity Line, we can access US $968 million, and under the Resilient and Sustainable Facility, we can access $764 million over the next 2 years. The Precautionary Liquidity Line, the objectives of this precautionary line is to further the strengthening of and these are structural benchmarks that will be in place, the strengthening of the institutional framework for fiscal policy, the consolidated supervision of financial conglomerates, the enhancement of the framework for the resolution of financial institutions, bringing the AML, CF, and CFT framework to international good practice. We've had some challenges there. And the adoption of a special data dissemination standard, SDDS. Precautionary Liquid Line will also provide insurance against higher commodity prices, a global slowdown, tighter than envisaged global financial conditions, and new COVID outbreaks, right? So this is what the line is in place for, but the structural benchmarks I mentioned before are where the government of Jamaica will now have to deliver on these policy commitments, which will be contained in structural benchmarks. When we look at the Resilience and Sustainability Facility, the focus around here is fast-tracking the transition to renewable power generation, increase resilience to climate change, enhance the climate focus in fiscal policy framework, and strengthen the management of climate risk by financial institutions, right? So when we look at the performance of Jamaica, as the IMF was in town on June 12th through 16th to assess the performance of the program. So let's look at the indicative targets. The indicative target at the end of March 31st, 2023 was the overall fiscal balance of the central government being at $7.5 billion. We marginally exceeded that target to perform at $7.7 billion. The target for September 30th, 2023 is $3.6 billion in terms of the fiscal balance, right? The NIR, the floor we have, the target was $3.535 billion as of March 31st. NIR came in at $4.15 billion. The target for September 30th is $3.62 billion. So we should comfortably meet our NIR targets, and we continue to meet the fiscal targets under the Precautionary Liquidity Line. These are the indicative targets or the quantitative targets, right? The IMF Executive Board will meet to consider these reviews in August 2023.